This week you may be one of the thousands of students who after 12 years of school education is reduced to a single number, the ATAR. A ranking that is, inevitably a form of comparison. It will leave some thinking they are world beaters, and maybe some of them will be. For others they will have to dig deep to overcome the disappointment of a score lower than they expected, and perhaps a score imposed on them by ambitious schools, parents or peers. It is sheer madness of course, and has nothing to do with education. But, to paraphrase Philip Larkin on death, the ATAR is no different winded than withstood. It is the system. The good news is, once that unpleasantness is over, life as we know it, as it properly should be, can be resumed. You now have the rest of your life to decide what you want to do with it. Take your time after all. If you do everything in a great hurry you will look pretty silly having nothing left to do for the majority of your life. It doesn't mean do nothing, but it does mean that if you are feeling a little disconnected or lacking direction, that is okay. Ignore the smug entreaters of people who lack the insight to appreciate the role that good fortune played in their successes, urging you to follow your passion. You might not be particularly passionate about very much, if anything. That is okay too. Not everyone can get unnaturally excited about train sets, or semiconductors. Furthermore, the shallow passion brigade generally are talking more about hedonism, the pursuit of pleasure, than they are about the true meaning of passion as suffering. The pursuit of pleasure rarely delivers what it promises. If it did, why do all those Melbournes return from the Gold Coast? Like Collingwood supporters, what they really need is a bit of Melbourne-style suffering. Much better than thinking solely in terms of seeking out pleasure, is to be useful. Consider your life in those terms for a moment. How can I make myself useful? Immediately the perspective changes and one can begin to link the skills and talents one has to possible projects. Then a training course or a degree can be seen in terms of how it might enhance your utility. You do not need a grand plan, rather instead think in terms of what problems are out there in the world that you could usefully have a crack at. Whether it is nuclear fission or going fishy, whether it is helping someone out of a shower, or predicting the next rain shower, using your skills to be useful helps cement your place in society. It turns out that when people feel they are useful to others, they feel connected to others, they feel they have a direction, and it improves their well-being. Oddly enough, some even discover they have a passion for being useful. Your ATAR score is not the final analysis. It has nothing to do with far more important matters in your life. So celebrate, commiserate, and accept. Then go forth and make yourselves useful. Jim Bright is Professor of Career Education and Development at ACU and owns Bright & Associates, a career management consultancy. Email opinion@jimbright.com.